Age 24, tall, skinny. The arms and legs are thin, the face is thin, the condition of the pocket is even worse. The man is an artist. At the beginning of the story, he is seen sitting on a chair. As he sits, he seems to have no energy to move. A half-eaten cigarette hangs precariously from his lips. A book in hand, the man's attention seems to be focused on that book. No one will notice anything unusual in this scene. Of course, if you look closely, that are different things. There is no explanation for what will be seen then. Hold the book upside down. This we can read the book or not. What's the explanation? The explanation is nothing else. The man is not reading at all. Even, he has no eyes on the book. In fact, the man is only looking at the book from a distance called middle distance. Eyesight is empty. That means the man is thinking something. That's true. He has the idea of an exhibition in his mind. The news of this exhibition appeared in the paper this morning. This year's art exhibition is going to be held on such a large scale, and there are no restrictions on the medium. The artist can choose according to his own wishes. Both of these are great features of this exhibition. As a result, artists can express their talent freely. Our artist is thinking about this news of the exhibition. What in print was cold and nothing but a news, which made him agitated and excited. He had been patiently waiting for such an opportunity for a long time. He wanted people to know, to give him some credit, for his skill with the tool. This is the only chance to get that recognition. He has absolutely no illusions about his talent. He does not imagine that he will receive any of the huge cash prizes that will be offered at the exhibition. He is happy to receive a certificate of appreciation from entrepreneurs for his work. He has no hope that he will get that. But still he wants his pictures to be hung in the exhibition, people to see his work. Apart from that, there is no hope inside, maybe not. It cannot be said that there may be a mention of his work in the articles published in the papers about the art exhibition. A critic might write, Shri S. A family group, picture appeal is no less. His composition is impressive. The choice of colors also has a very Munchiana penmanship touch. Laziness in the body, book upside down in the hand. The man is now thinking. He is thinking about what will be the subject of his painting. If he has a personal preference for art, I would say that he is a fan of realism. He sticks to what is real like glue. It has become the practice of modern art to show the nature as broken and distorted, but his sense of beauty is affected by it. Surrealism in art evokes his fear. Besides, those crazy games with lines and shapes, called abstraction or abstract art, do not evoke any response in his mind. Many of his friends talk big about art. Some of them are amateur critics, some are painters themselves. They condemn his narrow-mindedness and say, "It makes me laugh to hear you." Says, "Those rubbish will no longer work with old ideas." Look carefully at the works of modern artists, try to understand their significance. You have to do it, there is no way around it. How can you ignore these geniuses? That's why they get together. All short names. Hearing this, his ears began to tingle. But there is no change of his opinion. Not that he had ever tried to read books on modern art. Tried multiple times, but the pictures in those books were so overwhelming to him that he did not continue reading. He remembers a picture like this. Looking at the photo gallery, it seemed that someone had painted a crude picture of a Neanderthal or Paleolithic human, probably an infant, with a neck as long as a giraffe. But what is the name of that picture? The Ideal Woman. Can you think? He thought. It could be a stranger joke. The next day he started painting. He is proficient in watercolor. This too he will draw in watercolor. As for the subject of the painting, he had decided the previous evening after much thought. This would be a depiction of one of his favorite scenes from Shakespeare's plays. Lady Macbeth sleepwalking. This will be her picture. The name of the film will be The Dreaming Somnambulist. He had never been so enthusiastic about painting before. By measuring each color on a separate piece of paper, he sees exactly which combination of colors will suit his picture. After the color was settled, he got down to the real work. He has no doubt that it will be one of his best paintings. It took a total of 10 days to complete the painting. He was never seen leaving the dirty, dingy, small room which he used as his studio. This is the first time he has completely poured his heart into a painting. The patience and enthusiasm with which he has painted this picture is, to say the least, unusual for a man of loose and untidy nature like him. Even after the work of the painting is done, it is necessary to apply a touch of painting brush here and there. It ended on the 5th of January. It is getting evening. He stretched out his arms and put them down. His muscles are throbbing with the excitement of the work. They want to rest now. After a while, taking a few steps back to get a proper understanding of how things went, he looked at his picture. Stared for 5 minutes. The eyes are half closed, the head is slightly tilted to one side. The more he see the picture, the more he like it. Color, expression, composition, all testify to that he was able to draw this picture because of the inspiration, the urge within. Suddenly he felt that he had crossed himself, which is before his eyes seeing. He had no idea of himself that he could paint such a picture. Now he is very satisfied. He realizes that he who has worked so hard for 10 days has not gone to water. But there is no time to be complacent about your creation. Send photos to the exhibition. Today is the last day. He will post his picture tonight. What he sees in his painting, critics also want to see. Actually seeing them is more important. He put down the painting from the easel, then started looking for thread and wrapping paper. When he came out of the post office, his eyes were watering. The veins are also throbbing. With all the hard work, it can happen. The legs are as heavy as stones. He slowly started walking. Of the cities, that part which is a little lonely, empty, now he will go there. He now breathes a little in the open air. He felt healthy in the evening air. When he returned home an hour later, he was much exhausted. The next morning, he felt that the last trace of fatigue was gone. He is now a completely fresh person. He was reading the paper while having breakfast. At that time, a small notice of the Society of Fine Arts caught his eye. The society informs that there are many paintings in the exhibition this year. They have no doubt that this year's exhibition will be a great success. Once he thought, this time the studio needs to be cleaned a little. So much garbage has accumulated that they are not cleared. Then laziness overtook him. Sitting down, he started thinking whether he should get up or not. In the end, it seemed that the cleanup work would be done later. When he re-entered his studio that day, evening had fallen. The room is dark. In the meantime, he pressed the switch and turned on the light. The studio is a total mess. There are tubes of color lying here and there. There is no exact address of where the brushes are spread. Had to work so quickly, so where to put it? The word, did not put it there. Torn rags and paper stalks on the floor. Seeing the chaotic state of the studio, his eyes suddenly fell on a piece of paper. Just below the easel lies the paper. The chest suddenly heaved. This is his familiar paper. He bent down and picked up the paper. Then the whole world became dark. He somehow managed to hold on to the easel. The paper that is clutched in the hand is not just a small paper, it is his best painting, The Somnambulist. Dreamer, the Lady Macbeth, whose picture he had painted with so much labor, so much care, now gazed at him with her sleepy, speechless, glassy eyes. Those two eyes are also given by him. As the initial shock of astonishment wore off, he sank into a terrible depression. It didn't take him much time to understand where the commotion was. This time too, his carelessness has sunk him. This is nothing new in his life. Such incidents have happened several times in the past in his life. Although the result of that other-mindedness was a source of great laughter, it never resulted in such an apocalypse. This time the disaster happened. Desperate, cruel doom. It seemed that a strong sadness was coming from inside him. He is feeling very ill. What has he delivered to the committee? After opening the parcel, they found nothing but a piece of paper, along with the name of the artist and the film. They must be laughing by getting a paper instead of a painting. What can one call it but the cruel irony of fate? Gritting his teeth, he cursed himself and over his fate and over again in unrepentant rage. He tore the painting to shreds. Threw the torn pieces into the waste paper basket. The next week he tried hard to forget the disaster. In order to forget, he began to do all kinds of work with paint and brush, that kind of work he had never done before. In fact, this is nothing else, an attempt to forget himself. While he was trying to do this, and had really forgotten about the disaster, a letter reached him on the morning of the 15th of January, that is the day of the opening of the exhibition. He was finishing his breakfast when he got the letter. Long blue envelope, clean symbol on it. Who sent this letter can be understood by looking at the symbol. The letter was sent by the Society of Fine Arts. He wondered for a moment what the letter might contain before opening the envelope and reading the letter. He felt that the society must want to know something about the mysterious parcel. Perhaps it's just a matter of compliance, something society always does. Steadily fingering the envelope, he pulled out the letter. The letter begins like this: "Dear Sir, we congratulate you with pleasure." But this is unbelievable. He could not believe his eyes. In short, in semi-formal terms, the society informs him that his painting, The Somnambulist, has this time won a first prize. The letter concludes with a related request, asking him to be present at the opening day function of the exhibition. His head was spinning. He did not understand the whole point of the matter. What will be happy? He is confused was feeling after the initial excitement wore off. He realized that something was misunderstood somewhere. There was a mess. Or it doesn't happen, it can't happen. When he reached the town hall half an hour later, he was almost out of breath with unbridled excitement. The main gates of the town hall are open for the public, people to see the exhibition coming in line. Two great intellectuals are standing at the door for no reason. Somehow he got inside after pushing them. The exhibition is on the second floor. Nice foliage on the stairs. 3 steps over it one at a time he climbed the stairs and reached the second floor. The exhibition hall is sparkling with colors. There are numerous pictures of various sizes covering the 4 walls. As there are small miniatures in it, there are also huge canvases. Excitement pounding in his chest, he turned to look at the pictures. Prizes for pictures received, attached a clean label to the bottom of each of them. The name of the artist and the painting. He is looking at those labels in detail. It took him a full hour to complete the north, west and south walls. Landscape, figure, still life, sketches in various mediums. He did not leave anything out. This is like an ordeal of his eyesight. Eyes are red and painful. But be that as it may, he will not leave without solving the mystery. By the time he reached the western wall, however, his enthusiasm had waned. But what he saw when he went there, he still had what was left of his enthusiasm hanging on the walls, like a nightmare. Are all paintings called abstraction or abstract art? The first painting won the first prize. Reluctantly, almost mechanically, he laid his eyes on the painting label. The name seemed familiar. Hey, that's his name. And the name of the film. It is also known to him, The Somnambulist. But what is this picture? What is the meaning of this colored patch with a brush? He had never drawn anything like this in his life. He understood it like lightning. It's not the picture, it's the paper, on which he dabs different colors with his brush before deciding on the color to be used.